Christmas Eve, everybody. I am so glad that we're going to spend this time together. I have my warm medieval times cup of something to drink. My beautiful fiance moved this tree up here just so we could seem as festive as possible. I am dressed as festively as possible. I'm so excited for this time. But the show isn't just about me. It's Sarah Kennedy, but it's also Sarah Kennedy and friends. And I think we need to really drive that home with a little intro music. Come on.
Sarah Kennedy. Friends. Sarah and friends.
See, now do you get it? It's Sarah Kennedy and friends. We got friends from all over the country tonight. I'm super excited for you guys to get to meet them and see the amazing stuff that they do. Also, because it is Christmas Eve, it's like post-winter solstice. It's wintertime proper. I think that the only thing we could possibly do is all together now warm up against the fire. This particular fireplace video, it's over here. Everything's reversed when on my screen. That video is one of my particular holiday favorites because it is not the best fireplace video. It is in fact the second best fireplace video of the creator of this video. He or she or whoever it is that makes these videos ranks them. This is second best, and I've watched it for many years now, and I still can't quite decide what is it that makes it not the best. I think it's pretty dang good. I mean, we get a strong start here. The fire is already roaring, and then it just builds up from there. And what holiday would it be if it weren't you getting the chance to put this up on your screens somewhere? So we're all going to enjoy the second best fireplace video tonight, off and on throughout all of tonight's festivities. Also, by the way, if you are watching on Twitch, thank you so much for joining us on the Spec Script Twitch. We're so excited to get to hang out with you tonight. If you're watching on The Box's YouTube, thank you so much for watching over there. The Box is doing some incredible programming all this week in celebration of Christmas. So even tonight. So tonight at 8 o'clock Mountain Time. So that's right after our show. You guys can see Solly Taylor and friends right on The Box's YouTube channel. So if you're not watching on there, go to there to watch it. You can also see it on The Box's Facebook group and Facebook page and all that kind of stuff too. So, also if you are watching on Twitch or YouTube, you can definitely feel free to comment along with the show. One of my favorite things to do is getting to show everybody's comments while stuff is happening and kind of get to interact with all y'all. So, join in. Jump on in. I may ask a couple questions throughout the show because really, honestly, normally we overpack the show and I've got to cut things for time. And this week, I wanted to spend the time with you, to spend this holiday together with you. And so I would love it to, feel that way. So you know what I mean? You're in both. That's great. That's how I feel watching everything happen in my little windows too. So it's good. Now you're getting the best of both worlds. Okay, so here's the deal. Speaking of Christmas spirit, this thing happened recently that made me very upset. And that's, how I like to start shows, especially holiday shows, is just like with an airing of grievances, even though the Festivus was yesterday. So here's the deal. KRQE released this, and it got passed around all over social media, that New Mexico ranked 48th in the nation of states with the most Christmas spirit. So that's got a lot of qualifiers in it. It just means that the study said that New Mexico has no Christmas spirit. And this is wrong. This is just incorrect. New Mexico has so much Christmas spirit. Our state question is legitimately red or green, and it is completely and totally fine at any restaurant where you get asked this question to answer with Christmas, which means both red and green. You can have Christmas all the time in New Mexico. That's how much Christmas spirit New Mexico has. Also, this whenever I see anything that starts with study, colon, and then like something that makes New Mexico look bad again, it makes me like so upset because who did the study? What did they have to do to get the study done? Because New Mexico is such a unique state that there's almost nothing that you could study us against that would like give you any clear results, and definitely not about Christmas spirit. So I looked into this. It was a study done by CenturyLink. So, I mean, maybe we rank number one in late bills to CenturyLink for internet. That I could understand them being like, awful nice state there you got. I hate for someone to rank it 48th and something. So CenturyLink did this study, and they looked at the following criteria for what constituted a state with good Christmas cheer. One is Google searches for Christmas movies and gingerbread houses. That was almost a third of the entire study was that. Then online shopping for wrapping paper, Christmas cards, ornaments, and Elf on a Shelf, the book and surveillance teaching tool. Christmas music streams, and then tweets about Christmas. And then, of course, if we had Christmas tree farms and any charitable giving as defined by the IRS. So cool, CenturyLink. And there's already some problems here when it comes to like marking any scores with New Mexico for this, because number one, the New Mexicans do not search for gingerbread houses. They have bigger fish to fry. They've got other things that are on their minds. If there's anything that you could really look for Google to test whether or not we've got Christmas spirit, it's 100% tamales. So, and I know that that's a big one because the birthday takeout group, which if you're not part of that, oh yeah. And then honestly, who's Google shopping online for wrapping paper? We all just go to the Dollar Tree. That just seems, that should happen across the states. Everybody should go to the Dollar Tree for the wrapping paper. It's $1. Or use the newspaper, just whatever. You know what? Christmas spirit isn't about online shopping. It's, all right, you hear that? Utah, Idaho, Wisconsin, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Nebraska, North Dakota, West Virginia, and Arkansas. So actually, okay, I know from watching some Christmas movies that I don't even have to Google that the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. And if that's going to be the way that we can maybe rank a little bit higher next year, I will sing my Christmas cheer, and hopefully the other states can all take note. All right, so here we go. My Christmas cheer song for you. Utah, Idaho, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Tennessee, Nebraska, North Dakota, South Carolina, West Virginia, Arkansas. Come and fight me because you don't have more Christmas cheer than us. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for that. That's my Christmas song. All right, so here we've got a big show for you guys today. I'm so excited for you to see all the stuff that we've got planned. We're gonna warm up in front of this little Christmas fire for just a little bit and kind of, I don't know, maybe you guys can tell, like, look, we're a little bit deeper into it here. What is it? Is it because it's a weird kind of, like a weird cut of wood? What is making it the second best and not the first best fireplace video? Okay. Yes. Okay. This isn't, I mean, I didn't want today's episode to be entirely me fighting with a good 10 states other than New Mexico, but I am. And yeah, you're right. You're right. So let those other 10 states know that wood looks off. Okay. See, this is maybe what I was thinking too. Like, it looks like the fireplace is going, the fire itself, a little, maybe the wood itself is off center, but the cut of wood just looks like they took like a fence post, maybe? Is that maybe what is the issue? And then maybe they're like, well, next time I got to use firewood. Who can say? All right. You guys come here for amazing shows featuring some of the best comedians across the country. So we should probably move on to one of your favorite pieces of the whole show and one of mine. Segment. I love segment. You love segments. Segment really helps us break up the show. And tonight's first segment is a real doozy. It comes to us from Katie Getch. Katie Getch is one of my dearest friends. And when I moved away from New York, she is one of the people that I miss every single day. And I was so pleased to hear that while in like self-isolation, quarantine, just staying at home kind of stuff in New York, she made an entire holiday special by herself and then put it up on YouTube this week for everybody to watch. And she graciously let me have one of the segments to show to all y'all so you could see how funny this holiday special really is. So a little bit about Katie Getch. It's called the Nobody Asked for This Christmas Special. It's on YouTube. I'll make sure to put a link to it in the comments here. She's also Katie Getch on Venmo, and I know that Christmas is tomorrow, and maybe you bought all your presents, or maybe you didn't even have money to buy presents. Maybe you're looking for an opportunity for a way to support artists this season in some sort of way. Sending her money directly on Venmo is a great way to do that. If not, watching her Christmas special and sharing it is a great free way to do that. And if you need a little sample of what it would be that you'd be sharing, or what it would be that you'd be giving money to Venmo for, well, I'm pleased to show it to you right now. So here is Lemmy, the Christmas Comedy Vampire by Katie Getch from the Nobody Asked for This holiday special. Uh-oh. Wait a second. Oh boy. Hold up. You know what? You know what happened there? I could tell you what happened. Yeah, exactly. It's muted. So, this is a free show too, by the way. So, you get your money's worth. And I appreciate the feedback on this. Give me one quick second and I will get that fixed for you. Come on, do it for me. Give me the little guy. There it is. Oh no. Oh gosh, you guys. In the meantime, what the heck? Hold on. There it is. Oh. I could tell you the problem, but it's a little bit of showing how the sausage is made. So give me one quick second. I got this. Oh, yes. Okay. Now I got it. You guys are in for a treat. This is so funny. Oh. This is why you guys come to this. This is why you guys come to this on Christmas Eve night instead of, like, yeah, exactly. Let's do something fun in the chat for this. Let's F in the chat for the death and the dead air that's happening. So as much as you can, smash F in the chat on either YouTube or on yeah, there it is. Bring them in. Bring them in. Dead air. R.I.P. air, you know? You hate to see it. Oh, your messages I did. You got it. All right, now we got it. Everybody, please enjoy Katie Getch's incredible piece, worthy of a much better intro than that. Lemmy, the Christmas Comedy Vampire.
Well, hello everybody. I'm here to bring some Vlad Dracul to your Yule. Better watch out there. The days are getting shorter, which means snack time's getting longer. People keep complaining they're taking the Christ out of Christmas. I say, heck, let's take the Christ out of everything. Do you know what's Vampire's favorite part about gift giving? Writing the thank you cards. But my family just loves it when I'm coughing up presents. Women be shopping for Christmas presents. Santa's all like, ho, ho, ho. And I'm all, ah, ah, ah. Boy, that Santa sure loves his cookies and milk, am I right? People who drink milk taste, mwah, the absolute best. In fact, I can't eat anybody who doesn't drink milk. I'm lactose intolerant. Thank you, thank you. I'll be here for all time.
Guys, that's Katie Getch's Livy the Christmas Comedy Vampire from her holiday special. Nope, that's it. You guys already saw it. You already saw it. Yeah, nobody asked for this Christmas special on YouTube. You can also give her some money on Katie Getch and Venmo. If you like that, you will like all of it. I promise you, it is so funny. She's a gifted artist who drew a whole bunch of stills for another piece that she did, and she also plays music and like creates her own original songs. So it's genuinely amazing holiday watching. So again, I'll put the link here in the chat so you can find that after the show. Gosh, you guys with these jokes, you guys should be Lemmy the Christmas Comedy Vampire. Holy moly. Okay. All right, you jokesters. I thought we'd have more time for this fire because we got to get down to the bottom of this. Like, what is it? If it's the cut of wood, see, this is back at the beginning of it. See how it looks like a fence post? It looks like the wood that the guy from Ed, Edd n Eddy has as his friend. And that's tragic. So I could see why that wouldn't ever make it into the very first, maybe the cinematography. You're right. And actually, John, you're typing in the comments, but I mean, not to spoiler alert it, but you are the guest of tonight. So I should probably bring you in. Our guest for this evening is also a dear friend. The show is Sarah Kennedy and Dear Friends. So I'm super excited to get to bring him in here. He performs all over. He has an incredible YouTube channel, which we're going to get into a little bit more later. And he's just a delight. So please welcome John Field. Hey, John.
Hey, I'm unmuted. Hello. Wait, let me adjust the thing and then ding. Oh, look at there. And my glasses are off. Hi, Sarah. How have you been?
Hi. I'm good. Thank you so much, by the way, for putting your pronouns in your name tag down there.
I was also going to add Americas, but I think it's not the best to make jokes out of the pronoun thing, right? I don't believe so.
That's good. I mean, you're right. You're right.
But I wanted credit for that joke, but yeah.
Sure. That's good. So thank you so much for joining me. Merry Christmas.
Hello, Merry Christmas to you.
So actually, I was going to ask you a couple questions. I have them all here on my fancy note cards. What are you guys doing for Christmas?
We're going to watch Titanic.
Great.
We're going to have a Christmas Story Christmas where we're going to order Indian food because there's no good Chinese food around us. We'll probably be cleaning a little bit. And also our neighbor who is a ridiculous person. We bought her sage. And so she's like the old woman who like watches over and knows all the gossip. And we became friends with her over the years. And we got her sage and we're going to give her a birthday present or a Christmas present for her birthday or, Christmas. It's not her birthday. Yeah.
That's so nice. Yeah. No, well, I mean, I have a friend whose birthday it is today. And even then they still get gifts that are like, it's both your Christmas and your birthday present.
Yeah.
So it's nice that sage is just for Christmas for your apartment lady. You're in New York. Everybody should know that. Okay, cool.
That's New York out the window right now. That's
holy moly. Wow.
Raining and just lonely people in the streets. Like I look out there in the window, just nothing but lonely people.
They're just like trying to get through it,
I could say a story about something that happened out my window, or do you have questions you'd like to go through? I don't know.
No, please share the story. I think everybody would love to hear it.
This window right here, you can't really see it that well, but I live near opioid center, like where a methadone clinic, and they're great. The people who like when school lets out and they're done like giving everybody the methadone, like everybody just hangs around the block, and they're fine people. They just hang around. Anyways, two people were fighting like right underneath my window right here, and it was really cool. It was maybe not great seeing a fight, but instantly the entire block, which it must have been at least 30 to 40 people, all gravitated towards the fight, and like they separated the two people, and everybody's yelling at each other in the most aggro way, and they didn't have the best de-escalation skills, but it was kind of cool to see the entire community, and not just like the methadone people, but like everybody just kind of instantly turn on New York City mode and kind of rush. I mean, I don't think it's just New York, but kind of rush into bring back homeostasis to the community. And it was a very nice thing to watch and validating. Yeah.
I think that's a great, I think that's very heartwarming. And it sounds like, like one of those Christmas songs that's all rugged that like boys put on mix CDs when they're like, it's Christmas, I guess, whatever. And like, there was a fight outside the methadone clinic. Merry Christmas, like that kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay. Speaking of heartwarming Christmas redemption stories, who do you think had a more heartwarming redemption, the Grinch or Ebenezer Scrooge?
I think the Grinch. I always had a problem with Ebenezer Scrooge. Somebody told this to me, and I think it's not my idea, but Ebenezer Scrooge has an entire night where like people are like, stop looking at people through the lens of money and stop thinking about money all the time. And then the next morning he wakes up and he's like, oh my God, I had a revelation. And like he opens up the window and he goes like, kid, what day is it today? And he goes like, oh, it's Christmas Day. He's like, oh,
Christmas Day, sir. Yeah.
And then the guy goes like, oh, I learned how not to look at people as money anymore. Here's $40. Go buy me a turkey. And it's like he didn't learn anything. I'm maybe marginally better, but someone used that to me as like an example of just dry drunks and like sobriety of like, you're still sober, but you're still. Can I say bad words on here?
We keep it PG-13, so keep it whatever,
You're still a piece of crap.
There you go. That'll do. That does. We lost a viewer, so thanks for that.
Losing the Nielsen ratings are Nielsen.
Oh no, they came back. They just self-censored.
Nielsen ratings are dropping, but yeah, that's how I feel about it. I mean, I'll have to go revisit Christmas Story. I haven't really looked at it as an adult, really. I don't know. You watched the Muppet one, right?
I always like the Muppet one. It's one of my favorite ones. I just, I don't know. I like the idea of doubling up the Marleys. Like, give me 2 Marleys. Now, at this point, since it's been so long since I've even read the book or seen any other adaptation of it, whenever people are like, then he gets visited by Marley's ghost. And I'm like, gotta have the 2. Okay. How many ghosts do you think it would take to change your awful ways?
Well, I think just one ghost, and it's the specter of capitalism.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. It just haunts all of us. I don't know enough of that type of theory. I just hear the word specter associated with capitalism a lot, and I think it's and the word hauntology is a lot. Have you heard that phrase before or no?
Hauntology sounds like a learning channel show that shows it late at night, like late at night.
That's what it sounds like. And when my friends say it, it sounds exciting. And then I look up the Wikipedia page and it's way more complicated than that. And I don't understand it. And it has to do with the specter of I don't know. I don't get it at all, but I like the idea of this like economic theory, and then somebody is just inserting spooky ghosts into it and making it
the invisible hand
of capitalism.
Okay, great. Okay, so actually, we need to get to we gotta get this moving along because we got something, we got hard out at 8. Let's move on. Okay, I had more fireplacey stuff, and I wanted to get your opinion about this. Do you have an idea of why do you think maybe it's the second best fireplace video and not the first place? Why is it?
I said in the Twitch chat, possibly the cinematography. Maybe the first one had better lenses and it had better lighting, or maybe the flute or something.
Oh. I could see that. I could see that just fine. Okay, so we're moving into segment, and you're the segment today. I'm super excited. We get to highlight one of your YouTube videos because your John Field Show YouTube and the John Field Show in general, it has some of the most inspired content and inspired pieces of like funny and introspective and cool things that I have the pleasure of seeing with my own eyeballs. So I am thrilled to get to introduce this to everybody else. Okay, so why don't you give everybody a little bit of context? So the video is called it's like quick thoughts about why Bugs Bunny is toxic, or what's the?
I quickly explain why Bugs Bunny is a toxic person. I think it's very self-explanatory. It came from okay. I like giving fake reasons for stuff in the videos I do because you can just control who you are as a character who talks to people, and also I just don't think you should ever trust that. I hate using that word, parasocial relationships, but like I like just making up a myth of somebody. But in real life, so I've been doing stand-up comedy for about 7 years. Before I did stand-up, I told myself I was going to do stand-up, and to think of a bit, I did shrooms, which I never did before in my entire life, and I sat with a notepad trying to think of comedy bits. And the only thing that really came to mind, I think I was watching Looney Tunes, even though I say I was watching Schindler's List in the video. In real life, the second time I took shrooms, I was watching Schindler's List, which is not a good idea. But I didn't get depressed. I don't want to get too away from myself there. But anyways, like I thought of everything about Bugs Bunny that I say in the video. The reason I was watching Schindler's List while watching it the second time was I thought I could give myself a bad trip, but it's really hard to get outside of a bad trip when you're on shrooms until my freaking doomer socialist rose emoji roommate came in and started talking to me about climate change, which is, that's not it. Don't talk to a guy on shrooms about climate change, you piece of shit. Yeah, whatever. That's about it. I mean, why that's just a bad idea. I'll throw the ball back to you because sometimes I can ramble. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, so normally before this video started, I was going to give a content warning for drug references, but you've pretty much went ahead. It's okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. I think you've given everybody a perfect heads up and the perfect context needed for what we're about to see here. It is fantastic. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's 5 minutes long, which is usually a little bit longer than the segments that we have on the show. So just strap in and really enjoy it because it's worth it. It's a hearty bite. So here we go.
Hi, you don't know me, but the other day I took shrooms for the first time in 7 years, and I watched Schindler's List. While I watched, I started thinking about Looney Tunes, and it occurred to me that Bugs Bunny is kind of a reprehensible person. He's very toxic, and I think it would be difficult to be friends with him. He's charming and has lots of likable qualities, but at the same time, he also acts like utter trash to everyone in his life. This is who Bugs Bunny is. It's reflected in his actions. He's very rude to people, flippant, dismissive of other people's needs. He has this pattern where he compulsively instigates fights that he doesn't need to, and when somebody pushes back and stands up for themselves, he'll look at the camera and say, "This means war." That's inappropriate, toxic, self-harming behavior. But it also makes sense to him. His toxicity has its own interior logic. And what I want to argue here is that Bugs Bunny is not only a rude person, but he feels like he needs to be that way. For him, it's a survival technique. Bugs Bunny's life is very violent. Every day, someone's trying to shoot him in the face, or someone's trying to eat him. Oftentimes, he gets lost and ends up in a part of the world embroiled in a contentious geopolitical struggle, which means that to survive, he has to do reprehensible things so that he is not murdered. Bugs Bunny has made decisions that most of us have been lucky to never have needed to make. For example, he puts his friends in situations where they get shot and not him. He assaults people, humiliates others. He dresses up like a woman and tries to seduce his own persecutors in order to escape, which
If that's his comfort levels, that's fine, but these aren't the ideal conditions for him to explore his gender. That's hard for him. That's hard for anybody. That's difficult not only physically, but mentally. Bugs Bunny is a person who does raw things to survive, and so he needs to be able to look at himself in the mirror and stomach himself. And so as a survival technique, he develops this very rude, bristling, jocular personality. And that's where Bugs Bunny comes from. How would you describe Bugs Bunny in 3 words? I'd say he's glib, he's rude, and he's dismissive of other people. And what are all these things? What are these behaviors? It's a form of disassociation. He's an ironic wisecracker because he needs that irony to separate himself from his own dangerous, unconscionable actions. Remember how he'd say, "Ain't I a stinker?" That's him rationalizing his behavior not only to the audience, but to himself. Every time he's asked, "What's up, Doc?" he knows the answer. He knows the answer. He strives on that negative attention. Bugs Bunny needs validation from us that he's a bad person. Otherwise, he has to reckon with the responsibilities of his actions. That is why Bugs Bunny is a rude person. I'll be honest. I worry about Bugs Bunny. What happens when he grows old? When all the bullets stop flying? When things are calm in his life? Will he be able to turn that part of himself off? In life, the skills we need to survive changes as we mature. What makes sense when we're 16 doesn't make sense when we're 30. Sometimes it's a very jarring adjustment to make those changes. If Bugs Bunny doesn't have an antagonist in his life, will he start to create them? As he starts to settle down and start a family with the heterosexual Lola Bunny, will he just turn on her and the children? Part of me fears that he will end up like his good friend Michael Jordan, a man who used antagonism all his life to drive himself into this competitive frenzy, but then post-career, he couldn't turn it off. And now that he doesn't have a basketball anymore, he uses Hall of Fame speeches and entire Netflix specials just to rip into anyone who's ever slighted him in his entire life. He never let go, even when he had no reason to hold on anymore. The greatest athlete of all time needs to contrive a 10-hour piece of propaganda to figuratively dunk on Isaiah Washington for something that happened before I was born. And I'm a millennial. Will that be Bugs Bunny sitting there, full tumbler of scotch, digging his arms into the easy chair while bitter, resentful memories of Yosemite Sam bounce around his head? While he's sitting there in his living room with Bugs Bunny eyes scan around the room, and he spots one of his sons sitting there, quietly playing with a plush carrot. Will his son look up and say, "I love you, Daddy"? Will Bugs Bunny, the most famous cartoon rabbit in the world, use his cartoon magic to replace his son's carrot with a firecracker as a means of retribution for some imagined slight? When his son starts crying after an explosion blows up in his face, will Bugs Bunny rush to his son? Will Bugs Bunny be angry at himself and confused at himself, holding his baby rabbit in his hands, gently attempting to console him and tell him that everything's going to be all right? But then will he momentarily look at the camera and to the audience and say, "Ain't I a stinker"? I sure hope not. Anyways, subscribe to my channel, and if you share this video with someone you used to date, they will realize they made a mistake in leaving you, and they'll fall in love with you again. So post it on Twitter.
The rest of it. There it is. I forgot about the "that's all," folks, because that's my job as the host to tell people when that's all. Good job, John. That's an incredible piece.
Oh, thank you.
I have so many questions. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So first off, how did you make that background? How did you find a full-size duck season, rabbit season signs?
I got the episode, I screen capped it, and then I used Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator to turn it into a lossless video thing, and then I made it the size of a thing, and then I just printed it out of my jet printer, and so it's accurate. And then the Elmer season, the end you can see right there is,
oh yeah,
it didn't really fully internet wise, or didn't fully computerize that end, and so instead of messing with it I think this one is like I hadn't made a video in a while, and I just kind of wanted to make something. I feel like creative stuff. The big ideas come, and then you work really hard on it. And then I feel like sometimes there's times where you just need to jumpstart yourself and just do some bullshit project that will lose you 5 subscribers, but that's fine.
Sure, totally, absolutely.
Every time I post something, I lose 5 subscribers. I'm like, why are you here in the first place? Get out of here. Yeah.
So I having watched this multiple times, I do have just like some like discoursey kind of questions for you, because I personally, and I don't even know what this says about me, but I'm always a bigger Daffy Duck fan. And also I find Daffy Duck's behavior to be more toxic than Bugs. Yeah. Is that just the way that they want us to see things? Or is that just another example of the toxicity that Bugs Bunny surrounds himself with?
Daffy Duck is clearly, I don't know if it's too obscure of a reference. Okay, this is going to be stupid. Did you ever watch the On Cinema, Off Cinema with the Tim and Eric guy?
I do. I know what you're talking about, but yep.
Okay, that's maybe not the best example, but I think maybe just Daffy Duck, you can see his problems coming a mile away, while Bugs Bunny masks his problems a lot easier. And so it's easier. And I think this video was a thing that I didn't put too much consideration into it. And I think any analysis of it for myself, like self-analysis, is just stuff that comes apparent like after the fact. But I think it's just like alcoholics I know in my life, they do a really good job. Great alcoholics are good at being really likable people, just because it lets them be an alcoholic for longer without everything dissolving in their lives. And I think kind of Bugs Bunny fits in that. And I think everything in that video is there's no subtext to the video, but I think it's kind of easy to use what I bring up for myself just to jump off onto like different other life stuff. I don't know. It just comes from me reflecting on my other crap. Yeah.
Well, no, I think that's great. Okay, so you mentioned Michael Jordan, and clearly there's a Space Jam connection there. Do you think LeBron James is going to be as good at being like a Michael Jordan level, Bugs Bunny level, ain't I a stinker kind of protagonist for the new reboot of the movie that's coming out?
I think he will be. I think LeBron James is more likable in every imaginable way. He just seems like a good person who accidentally is amazing. I'm going to do 2 seconds.
That's cool.
Right, cool. Oh, nope. She escaped by herself. They figured out how to do their thing. My cat was just begging to be let out of this room.
My cat usually during the show is begging to get in. She has no idea what I'm doing in here, and she desperately wants to be here. Never on camera, but here.
Cats hate doors. They're closed. They're
They don't like limits.
No.
I guess they don't like boundaries. Okay, last question. So we know that 2 wrongs don't make a right.
No, of course.
And so, and honestly, you brought up de-escalation earlier with your heartwarming story about what happened outside your window. What kind of stuff could Bugs do instead of the toxic stuff that he's doing that could de-escalate some of the other toxicity around him and like the bad guys that he does inevitably kind of run into?
I think like when he's in the bad situations, you can't really control how you react to it when you're in a bad, stressful situation. And also, you're not fully present when you're there. And so like, that's when bad behavior can come out, and you can't, like, we're in the middle of COVID. I'm not my best person in COVID, and I'm not, let's say, I have confidence in my relationship, but like, I'm not the best boyfriend in COVID, just because it's impossible to be fully present. But it's just like, I think in terms of the video, it's like after the fact, it's just like, and I think kind of, the video was written 10 years ago, and it made sense what was going on in my life 10 years ago. But also I think part of what I had in mind was like, I made that right when the election was won. And I was kind of thinking of, it came back into my mind, just in the fact that like Trump is over, and now it's going to be a really weird shifting of gears, trying to adjust from the constant panic and constant reaction of what life was like during Trump, and trying to react during a time when things are more calm. And there's still urgent, scary things in the room, but I think it's just how do you react to urgent things when there's not a fire in the middle of the room? And I think it's an adjustment, and I think it takes different skills, and it'll take different people who are useful, and it takes different mentalities of useful. And I think I kind of want just people to be alert for that, and just like not to be mindful of. I think we're going to be a little shell shocked, and kind of the faster we pull out of it, the better we can get to another platform. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. See, John, you're one of my most thoughtful friends. I'm so glad that you're on the show tonight.
Oh, that's positive attention. That's the worst type of attention.
That's my favorite kind to give. Anyway, also this came up in the middle of your thing, so I think we do need to move on to segment. Yes. And it is our final segment for the evening. It's just a way, because okay, so this is, John, the show right before Christmas. It's also our last show of 2020. And thank God that 2020 is almost over. I am so excited for us to get a fresh new start, and things are looking a lot brighter on the other end of New Year's Eve. So I am very excited for us to move on to that. I did want to, because we're closing out the show with this, kind of give you guys all out there watching right now, some really bright, amazing, touching, cool videos featuring teachers. So teachers are near and dear to my heart. I've got people in my family who are teachers, and I know that they've been going through a really hard time during this last year of having to completely retool everything that they do professionally, and then still educate children, and have an entire class of people who are also retooling everything that they thought of as normal. And there have been some amazing stories that have come out of all of this. And I've got two really great examples of them that I'm going to share with everybody. So this first one is a really funny one. And I don't normally think that this kind of humor is funny, but the way that these kids, John, it's so funny. It's so funny, and I can't wait for people to watch this. Okay, so this is just a real cute moment of joy that happened during a Zoom class with some elementary students.
Your journeys book?
What's that? What? I think she farted. That was a big one. What's that?
I don't know who that was.
It was huge. Sorry, I got it on her video.
I don't know who it was, but whoever it was, it might be a little embarrassed. So let's stop.
I still blame you.
That kid in the Nike shirt just loses it. And I think that that's like the funniest moment of the whole thing, where he's just like, he has like a devil's lock at the end of the video because he's been playing with his hair from laughing so hard. And I think that that's like one of the greatest, I don't know. I just thought that was, I think that's good. Okay, cool. So next one coming up. Let me see here. Oh yeah. So this is another one that came from a teacher teaching a Zoom class. This one is a lot more heartwarming. The last one is real silly. This one it will definitely get you in the feels. So here we go.
Cool thing to do, not turn your camera on. I've heard that. I've heard that in some classes, nobody turns their camera on, including the instructor. Oh my gosh. Hey, here we go. Seriously, is it my fault that you have your cameras off?
So, Dr. Brown, we actually kind of wanted to do something.
With your cameras off?
Everybody's wanna go ahead.
Oh, you guys. Well, you're gonna make me cry. Oh. You guys, thank you.
That's so sweet. Every time, like literally every time, even this time, even though I knew I was putting it into the show, every time I watch it, that the way that he takes that pause before he starts saying like, thank you, like, oh, it hits me so hard. Like that idea of like all those kids coming together. Ugh, I don't know. So that's that was my big thing. Any of your final thoughts, John, before we do?
I like his early apprehension of like, oh crap, the kids are up to something.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do something like incredibly sweet, or also like ingeniously mischievous. I can't say words. But yeah, no.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's very, I don't know. I thought it was very, very sweet. And I do like that about videos like that. When people can catch that kind of stuff and share it, that's what the internet should be for. Okay, John, I want to thank you so much for being part of the show. Thank you for coming. Please keep making stuff. And then if you make stuff that's like, keep submitting it, because now everybody knows you and people can watch all your stuff. So we'll see you in 2021.
I'll see you as well. This is a great show. I really like it.
All right, cool. Bye, John. All right, you guys. We're getting down to it, and they've got something really awesome at 8 o'clock. Please watch it. Who's they, you ask? What's that now? Oh, right. I do the show in conjunction with the Box Performance Space and Improv Theater in Albuquerque, New Mexico. They are fantastic. They do so much and such amazing content every single week. And you can find out where that's all streaming by going to their website, theboxabq.com. You can also follow them on Facebook and their YouTube channel, which maybe you're watching this on that right now. They also have their own Twitch. No matter what, they've got stuff going on. And this week in particular, they've got some really special programming. Last night, they had Amanda from the Red Light Camera singing. And tonight, they've got Sally Taylor and Friends. And that comes on literally 10 minutes from now. So please just keep watching. Get some music in your Christmas Eve. Like, it's worth it. It's worth it to support artists. And thank you so much for supporting our artists here and supporting the show. We do this every second and fourth Thursday, and I'm super excited to see you in January when it's 2021 and we can all wake up from this nightmare. You guys aren't nightmares, you're dreams. I love getting to do the show, and I love getting to hang out and spend this time with you. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.